we're at the first stage of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup on Recurve Sunday here in Colombia. Coming up, a battle between Korea's Kang Chae-young and Melanie Gobil of France in the women's gold medal match. Australia aim for an upset in the men's team event. And in the men's final, it's USA versus Korea as Brady Ellison and Lee Woo-seok go head-to-head. Nestled in the slopes of the Andes, Medellin is hosting the opening round of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup. We begin with the individual recurve women's final, and what a week it's been for 21-year-old Melanie Gobil of France, who started as 18th seed. Standing in her way was Korea's formidable Kang Chae-young, who hadn't posted a set of less than 27 points in match play during the week. This for gold and a guaranteed spot in the World Cup finals later on this season. Kang Chae-young of Korea to shoot first in this gold medal match. Of course, in the bronze medal match. Good correction from the French archer, but Kang on for a perfect start. Just drops it into the 9, but that already puts it out of reach for Melanie Gobil. She will shoot her third arrow, of course, in preparation for the next set. But the first set's going to go to Kang. And Gobil, well, just with that stray first arrow into the 7, opened the door for Kang, and a 29 out of 30, well, usually enough. Here it certainly was. And a typically great start from the Korean athletes, mirrored here by Kang Chae-young, shooting a 10 in the first 2 arrows. And pretty good grouping, probably about 2 or 3 centimeters apart at most. So Melanie Gobil already up against it. Never really want to give a lead to a Korean recurve archer. She's going to shoot first in the second set, and she's got to strike back quickly.
Even though you don't want to give a Korean a lead, we've seen quite a few upsets today, so you never know what to expect in these finals matches today.
Long hold from Gobil inside 5 seconds. It worked for her.
That time.
Much quicker release from Kang Chae-young.
Most of her arrows are grouping relatively to the right, and I would expect for some adjustments here. So.
What do you go to first? Do you go to your aim, or do you go to your sight?
With how calm everything is, I'd be moving my sight.
Well, big opportunity here. Another 9. And that's enough for a 4-set point lead. The first 2 sets have gone to Kang Chae-young. She's leading here And of course, shot the world record of 6.91 last year in Antalya. Well, here it is. I look back on that time on the qualification range, and then it's the 6.91 for Kang Chae-young. It's a phenomenal score when you think about that's over 72 arrows, over 70 meters, only dropping 30 points. That's less than the average of that is what, 9.6 per arrow, something like that. It's incredible.
Yeah, you're dropping fewer than one point per arrow, or per end, excuse me.
Phenomenal, and she's leading 4-0 here with a potential 6-0 drubbing in this gold medal match. Melanie Goebel needs to fight back, and I'm not sure that an 8 is good enough.
I'd hate to say it and jinx it, but it seems like this match is already over before it's barely begun.
Dropping low, but moving closer to the center. 2 9s, but it's enough. You've got to fancy for Goebel needs a 10 here to put some pressure on Kang. Long hold again, worked for her last time. It worked for her again, another 10. She should hold on longer all the time. Here though, a 10 will take the gold medal in Medellin. And a 10 it is! Brilliant stuff from the world record holder. Kang Chae-young has done it in 3 sets, taking all 6 set points, and is the champion of Medellin 2019, and she's booked her place in the World Cup finals later on this year. Only 15 years old and making her senior debut for the USA team, Casey Coughlin made a promising start to her international career in Medellin. We found out a bit more about this young sensation.
Hi, I'm Casey Coughlin, and I am here in Medellin, Colombia, my first outdoor World Cup. I am 15 and I've been shooting since I was 3, but competing since I was 8, so however you want to look at it, either 12 or 7 years. So I got into archery because my dad was the owner of Lancaster Archery Supply since he was young, and so it was kind of like a family thing at that point. My dad, he never wanted to push me too far into it, so he started me out with just a super traditional bow, and we shot for fun in the backyard. And then when I decided, that I wanted to do this more, then he kind of had me go into competitions, and I started liking it, getting friends in the sport, and it just all came together. This is my first year on the United States World Cup team. It's a little crazy to be shooting as a senior when I'm only 15, but I feel like I have really good chemistry with the team and we all get along really well even though I'm younger. I wasn't really too nervous because I had gone to the indoor World Cups, which were still international and all that, but there was a little bit more nerves going into this because it was everybody's here and it's going to be on this big stage for finals. I sometimes do think I have an advantage because I know if I was older and I had this little kid walk up to me and who shoots good scores, and I would definitely be nervous if I was them. I look up to every single person on the US team. All of them are so inspirational, and I always want to talk to them and get their tips on international travel and nerves and being on the big stage, and I look up so much to every single one. If I could pick one archer to be it would be Brady Ellison, because he's always just so confident and so ready for everything, and he's just cool. He's the coolest dude, and if I could be anybody, it'd just be Brady. So this year is mostly going to be a step-by-step thing because I feel like if I plan it all out, like say, oh, I want to win a gold medal at this, I want to place top 3 at this, I feel like I'll put my expectation too high. So I just want to focus on the process more than the outcome. I know that if I put pressure on myself, I won't shoot as good as if I don't. So I'm working on that still. I know that this is what I want to do for long term because like I love traveling and I love competing, and it's just a great experience altogether to be able to go to all these places, and I'm not good at much anything else, so this is kind of what I'm riding on for the long way.
An appearance in the mixed team recurve final was a great achievement for Casey in her maiden stage at the Hyundai Archery World Cup. She couldn't have asked for a better partner than Brady Ellison for what turned out to be a brilliant match against the Koreans. The key moment in the first set was an 8 from Kang Chae-young, which let the USA into an early lead. Korea responded well, and the final arrow from Kim Woo-jin secured 2 set points to level the match. But it was his mistake in the third set which opened the door for the USA. Wow, that's an uncharacteristic error from Kim Woo-jin. The pressure was on for Brady Ellison to deliver a 10 and share the set points. He duly delivered. With doubts over the final Korean arrow,
10-9 liner, I think that'll be
9 by the judge or by the PA announcer, but it's marked up as a 10. Whatever score was given, Brady Ellison could win the match with a 10. Oh, he's pulled it into the 9, so their scores are tied on 36 apiece, but we both think that that 10 from Korea is subject to a measure, and if it gets marked down to a 9, the USA have taken this one.
Target 1, 10, 9, 9, 8.
So we will have a shoot-off. That judge just called that a 10.
Target 2, 10, 9, 9, 8.
Well, here we go. For the gold medal, we couldn't separate Korea and the USA. We'll go to a shoot-off.
Ready, Casey?
Again,
8-9 ring.
a longer hold from Kang.
Switch over to the other target. It's now it's Casey Coughlin to shoot first for the USA.
Yep.
And that's in the 10. Now, in normal circumstances, we'd expect this man to just nail a 10, but nothing's been normal here. Just like that, he proves under pressure that he can score a 10. Over to Brady Ellison. Okay. And a 10 will take this. It's a 9, and we'll go to a measure, and you know what? I think Kim's arrow is closer than Coughlin's, and I think the Koreans do as well. The handshakes come out. They've already decided they are measuring down the other end, but I think everybody knows that Kim's 10 was closer. An epic contest, and it was the Koreans who ended up on top of the podium. Still to come, Italy stand in the way of Korean gold in the women's team final. Australia are bidding for glory against Korea in the men's team event. And Brady Ellison goes head-to-head with Lee Woo-seok to try and book a place in the World Cup finals later this year. Unsurprisingly, Korea's women, Olympic champion Chang Hye-jin, Choi Mi-sun and Kang Chae-young were favourites going into the recurve women's team gold match. But standing in their way was a young group of Italian archers featuring Tatiana Andrioli, Luciana Boari and Vanessa Landi, who on their day are capable of challenging. Well, 2 10s and an 8. It's pretty solid. Oh, and a high 6 there. It doesn't really matter because the set had already escaped them. There wasn't much between the teams in the second set, but Korea just managed to edge it. The Italians looked like they were hitting their stride in the third set until Lucia Boari slipped up. That was all the invitation the opponents needed to go on and take the match in straight sets, and with it, the gold medal. The level in the men's recurve team event at this tournament has been exceptional, and Korea have been setting the pace with Kim Woo-jin, Lee Si-young and Lee Woo-seok. The Australian men, David Barnes, Ryan Tyack and Taylor Worth, knew they had a serious challenge on their hands. Despite a good finish from the Australians in the first set, their opponents edged it by a point. With the Koreans not at their normally brilliant best in set 2, Australia levelled the match. Set 3 went the way of the favourites, and it was Lee Seung-young who was dragging them towards victory. The Australian men were not giving up, and Taylor Worth finished strongly in the fourth. Despite never quite hitting the heights of the elimination round, the Koreans did enough, and a share of the set points saw them take the match.
And he gets the 9 he's required to draw level in the fourth set, and Korea share the points in the fourth set, and it's enough to take them to gold in Medellin.
There are two rules unique to Team Archery. Team Canada's Crispin Duenas explains.
So we just finished our bronze medal match here in Medellin, and we got a yellow card on the field of play.
Left to right to more of a straight headwind. So this is something to be looking at.
Basically, Eric was on the shooting line, had finished his shot, and Brian was standing on the 1 meter line, which counts as being across the 1 meter line. We got yellow carded. So we have the 1 meter line and the shooting line. The 1 meter line is meant to keep archers back from the shooting line in order to give each team an equal amount of time to shoot their arrows. The first archer is going to go up to the shooting line, shoot their arrow, while the second archer waits behind the 1 meter line. Once the first archer is done shooting their arrow, they have to step back clear of the 1 meter line before the second archer can go up to the shooting line, and the same for the third archer. So there are two things that you cannot do in the team round. The first thing is that you cannot have two archers pass the 1 meter line at any given moment. The second thing is that you cannot have an arrow out of your quiver until your feet are straddling the shooting line. So if you have an infraction and breaking the rules of these two things, then you will get a yellow card. That's when the judge is going to call your country and hold up a yellow card. That is going to be a basic time penalty where you have to come back over the 1 meter line and start again. So the protocol to dealing with the yellow card is to drop the arrow that's in your hand, come back over the 1 meter line, and start everything over again. Normally, it's really easy to shoot in the time limits that we have, but if you can't deal with a yellow card, then it'll make shooting a lot more difficult.
Good recovery there from going early.
So the key to succeeding in team archery is being able to like your teammates, for one thing, teamwork, communication, and above all, being able to perform on the day.
Eight to share the points. Anything else? Well, they've got the set, and they do indeed get a 9. And Canada go 4-0 up over the Netherlands.
Brady Ellison and Lee Woo-seok faced each other twice in 2018, and the scorecard read 1 apiece. So how the men's individual gold medal match would go here in Medellin was anyone's guess.
Lee didn't look very happy with that shot. It seemed to have gotten away from him a little bit. Brady will take this first set though with a near perfect score. We'll see how that first arrow looks a little bit close to the line, but I think it's pretty confidently a 10.
Well, Ellison striking early. 2 10s and a 9, enough. Well, normally is enough, 29 out of 30 to take a set, but especially when Lee Woo-suk, well, he's following the form of some of his other teammates here. Look, still a great score of 27, but usually we expect so much more from the Koreans. He leads 2-0, Lee Woo-suk to shoot first in the second set of this gold medal match.
So Brady's group looks a little high to me. I might grab a click there just to maybe drop it down and catch some lines.
Grabbing a click, Mackenzie Brown, the US Olympic archer, is basically saying that Brady Ellison should just adjust his sight very slightly.
Now it's just a little bit left, so I think maybe some wind has changed. It is dead calm from what we can see up here. So a 10 right here would even up and would give Brady that 3-1 lead.
Anything less and we'll be tied up, but it is a 10, and he does get the same score as Lee Woo-suk in the second set, and as Mackenzie suggested, the scores move on to 3-1. They share the points of the second set, but Ellison maintains his 2-point lead here in the gold medal match in Colombia.
Ready.
Lee Woo-suk gets us underway in the third set, and a lovely 10, possibly the closest arrow to the centre for him so far.
A little bit of adjustment there on his bow arm. He might have just felt a little bit of his shot breaking a certain way, so he gave it a little bit of a little bit of English to get back in the 10 ring.
Is that a Texan term, a little bit of English? We say welly, a bit of welly.
Not a bit of English, but the might be a Texas term.
Yep. Keep strong. Keep swinging it back.
Ellison looking so strong here. Pressure on Lee Woo-suk, but he's pretty stable as well. Door massively wide open for Ellison to steal the points in the third set here and put him in a commanding 5-1 lead.
Yep.
And a 10, and his closest arrow, perhaps the second closest arrow for him throughout. A perfect score of 30 for Brady Ellison. A little slip up from Lee Woo-suk, and the American leads 5-1 in the gold medal match. And remember, 6 points is all you need to win in the individual tournament. Yeah, well, the door opened in that set, well, with the 8 there from Lee Woo-suk, scoring him a 27. For any normal archer, that would be a great score, but dropping a point like that is really crucial in a match like this.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't want to open a door when Brady's on fire like this.
Set for Lee Woo-suk, shooting to stay in the gold medal match, and what a shot to start things off.
Yep.
What a reply from the American.
Good answer.
Yeah, great stuff from Lee Woo-suk. He needs 10s, and that's a good grouping as well. Nine. A door slightly ajar for Lee Woo-suk. A 10 here and a perfect 30 will give him the set points in the fourth. And he's dropped that into the 9. So a chance here for Ellison. If he gets a 10, he has won the gold here in Colombia. And he does get the 10. It was brilliant shooting throughout from Brady Ellison. He was up against the lean, mean machine from Korea, Lee Woo-shuk. But by word, he performed brilliantly, Brady Ellison. He is the champion of Medellin 2019.
An impressive win then for Brady Ellison, who claimed his first stage win in 3 years.
I'm still nervous about these tournaments because it's been so long, and then getting this win today, it's 10 World Cup finals in a row.
What an event it's been here in Medellin. We've seen Korean dominance in the Recurve team finals. Kang Cha-young picked up gold medals in 2 of those matches and added another individual gold to cap an incredible day. Brady Ellison was the men's champion and alongside Kang secured a spot in September's season finals. Join us next time for the second stage of the 2019 Hyundai Archery World Cup in Shanghai.